Hey, what is up everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at Ethereum, which is currently up 2%, which is actually quite insane to think that, just a few days ago there was $1.4 billion worth of Ethereum hacked from Bybit. Now, whenever something like this happens, there's always a massive crash. No matter what the coin is, when Bitcoin gets hacked, there's a huge crash. When Ethereum gets hacked, there should also be a huge crash, but that was not the case. And the main reason that wasn't the case is because of how well Bybit was able to sort of resolve that issue. Now, another reason why we're pumping is also why Bybit, how Bybit was able to resolve that issue. And they resolved it by not only being very transparent about the hack, but also by providing one-to-one backing for the hack. So anybody that lost money will eventually get that money back in Ethereum. Now, there's two main ways that they're going to go about it. One way, which is the most likely way, is that, there's going to be bounty put on that Ethereum, and whoever can sort of reclaim it, they'll get a reward, and then that Ethereum will then be dispersed back to those people. Or another way is that they buy back that Ethereum, which, $1.4 billion worth is a lot of Ethereum to buy back, and it will take probably a lot of Bybit's capital to do so, and it's quite unlikely that that will be the case. But I think that sort of speculation is the main reason why we're seeing a pump today. Now, we're also going to go through a heat map and the ETF inflows and outflows on Ethereum, which look quite interesting. We're also going to cover Bitcoin, a few other altcoins, and the S&P as well. Now, before we jump into all of that, I want to ask you guys to check out the Discord down below. You can see on the screen right now just how many trades our members are winning from, essentially just copying our trades. All they're doing is copy and pasting, and you can see on the screen right now, it's absolutely insane. One trade we actually just took profits on today was a usual trade. That's the ticker symbol, usual, and yeah, that was 170%. So if you entered with $100, you would have made $170 profit. Amazing stuff. Make sure you join up. It'll be the first link in the description. Now back to Ethereum. So yeah, Ethereum is in a really interesting spot because the hack didn't actually make it weaker, it made it stronger. Now there's more money flowing into Ethereum. There's really more of an audience now for Ethereum, not only watching but also buying, so that's really good. We have a main resistance level here at 2.9k, somewhere around here, this white box, or white line with the blue box. Once we break through them, it should be quite a nice path to roughly 3.3k, and then obviously higher once we head there. Now, if you remember, obviously in all the previous videos we were talking about how great Ethereum accumulations are here, specifically below $2,800, because at 2,860, somewhere around here, that's the lowest entry that the ETFs got in on. A major ETF inflow, that's the last price that it happened at. So all the other entries were a lot higher, in the 3,000s. So if we're able to enter below 2.8, it means we're able to get a much better entry than all those hedge funds did. Which is great. It means we're practically out trading them. Right now we're still below that, but obviously we're now trending up, so a lot more buyers are stepping in. We don't want to be buying then. A lot easier to be buying when sellers are sort of dominating the market. We're trending down in this sort of area, and that's the best way to buy, in my opinion. You don't want to really be buying when we're starting to pump up, although if that is your strategy, then sure, right now is still a good area, but we are really close to a resistance level which we haven't broken through for the past month. So yeah, the choice is yours. Another thing we need to take a look at is the heat map, and this is another reason why I'm personally not going to be accumulating today at these levels. So we have a lot of liquidations building up here. This is on Bybit as well, just above 2.7k, and you can see it's from all the longs that have been entering the market. So eventually these will have to get cleared, or they will just disappear. This is the 24-hour heat map, so usually if these liquidations do need to be cleared, they're going to be cleared quite quickly, usually by a flash crash or quite a fast descent down. If they're not that evident, and if they will just sort of disappear slowly, then that'll be fine. We won't need to head there. So I'd recommend watching the heat map. Like $24 million worth, like 50 million, because we have two little splodges of liquidations. And yeah, it looks like we're slowly topping out here on the daily. Let's take a look. Yeah, we practically hit that previous high. We might sweep above the high slightly and then crash down, but I definitely think we will see a small dip down. This isn't that sustainable of an uptrend. This was much more of a sustainable uptrend. You can see how much longer it took. All the major accumulations that were happening, obviously we then crashed from the hack and then continued back up quite quickly. So I think we'll probably see a slight descent. Again, the liquidations are just above 2.7k here, so if we take a look, yeah, I mean, quite easy to displace, just above here. Potentially we close this candle in the green, unless there's some major sells, and then tomorrow we'll probably crash down to like 2.7ish here on the S&P open. That's what we're going to be watching at least. Next thing we have to take a look at is also the ETF inflows and outflows. So you can see we had one major, or not major, just one ETF outflow last week or this week on the 21st, so on Friday 2 days ago, and that was for 3,000 ETH, which is like $6 million. No, it was $9 million, sorry, so bad maths. It was $9 million, not a lot at all. This is extremely small for these hedges. That is going to be like 0.1 to 0.5%, maybe even less of their assets under management, which is tiny. If we compare it to the inflows that we've been getting, you can see right there is how much of an outflow we had. So small. Compare it to the inflows that we've been getting, it makes no difference at all. So we're still at a major net inflow on the ETH ETF. You can again see the last major inflow was at the price of like 2.8k, which is great. We're getting a better price now, but the major ETF inflows were at like 3.3k, high 3,000s as well. So yeah, getting in now puts you at a major advantage compared to those hedges, and that's why I think it's so good. I just obviously wait until those liquidations are cleared and then you can enter in. Now Bitcoin is slightly underperforming right now. If we're taking a look, it's been performing worse than Ethereum, and Ethereum is the one that got hacked. Again, we still have those liquidations at 110 from the previous videos, so that's where we should be heading to. The main reason though why Ethereum is really outperforming is because Bitcoin dominance is falling down. It's down 1% today. That was down like 2% yesterday, and we need to close this candle in the red in order for this to really top out and continue the crash down, and hopefully alts will moon. So that's what we're going to be watching. We're so close to closing this in the red, probably another 1% and it will be red again. I think this is the top on dominance. Huge wick. Very unlikely that we're going to continue higher after such a huge wick. I really don't see how that's possible. So yeah, probably the top on dominance, and Bitcoin should start trading up again, which will result in altcoins absolutely flying. The S&P did hit an all-time high this week, now has obviously been crashing down. This is a very common trend on the S&P. You can see we hit all-time high, we crash down, we hit an all-time high, we crash down. It's like all the times that we hit new all-time high, we crash down, especially in the more recent times. As soon as we hit an all-time high, you can see right here, we break through, we hit an all-time high, crash down. We break through, we hit an all-time high, we crash down, break through, all-time high, crash down, break through, all-time high, crash down. Very common. Next week probably continue green. We had a few momentum stocks selling off this week, like Palantir, Himsers, just basic stocks that had really good momentum. Just hedges essentially selling off their risk, selling off their positions a bit, because one momentum stock crashes, it's usually that hedges will look to mitigate that risk and they'll just sell off other momentum stocks that they held. So that's the main reason why we saw a crash. Again, Bitcoin and the S&P usually do correlate with each other quite well. It's just that recently, after the wick that we had, they've sort of separated. They should start correlating again very soon though. Other coins I'm going to be keeping an eye out on this week include Dogecoin, HBAR, XRP, SUI performing quite well as well, Render, Fetch, Polkadot, AVAX, Solana, and obviously Ethereum and Bitcoin. I'll be making more videos on those during the week, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Also, if you did enjoy the video and you did find it helpful, please do make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, if you want to be getting my trades every single day and actually learn my strategies, then check out the Discord down below. It'll be the first link there. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye guys.